Yeah. Woo. Fights. Early day fights. It's a beautiful thing, everybody. Just making sure we're live. I think we're good. Hey, welcome to the People's Pre-Fight Show, everybody. We're getting you ready for UFC Vegas 87. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev, the main event. Pretty solid main card. I think it's getting a lot of crap for the main event, which I don't even think is that bad. There's just, when we think main events, we think stakes, and there's really not a lot of stakes in this fight, but I think it's going to be an enjoyable card. Thank you for joining us. I am Mike Heck, and joining me, the baddest stash in MMA, the chair swinging fool himself. Let's see how many swings of the chair UFC Vegas 87 gets on paper from Casey Leydon. Where is he? Wow, like a tenth of a spin. You look like sad. That's the saddest spin ever.
And I spin that way, and that was going this way.
So, oh no, minus tenth of a spin?
Think about that. Think about that.
I'm thinking about it. You might as well have just taken your chair and thrown it out the window.
Yeah.
With that reaction.
Why do I even have a chair? This is ridiculous.
Well,
and I'm doing this.
I need to, please.
I'm doing this all in support of my flyweights who deserve that main event spot. Respect the flyweights. We did it last week. Let's do it again.
Yes. Well, you guys are familiar with the show. Sorry for the background. It isn't great. We're in the middle of a move. I'm actually going to be at a hotel for the rest of the day, but I couldn't check in till like right now, and I didn't want to miss the show. So I'm back at the mother-in-law's house. As soon as this is over, go into the hotel, and then I'm going to do the post-fight show from there and the rest of the day's work from there. But we have to just make do with this. So People's Pre-Fight Show, get your questions in. Super chatters, cut the line. So if you're getting into the hottest club in New York, you want to remove the velvet rope, you want to get in front, you want to cut everybody else, you can do that with the super chat. So consider us the bouncers you are bribing to get in before everybody else. How about that? But let's go. We can talk about this card. We can talk about whatever the hell you want. I know there's not a shit ton of storylines here, but let's go.
All right, here we go. Hold on a second. Boop, 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 do. What we got? All right, hold on one moment. Oops, hold on a second. Let me adjust this.
All right. Joseph, what are your thoughts on Ariel saying that UFC 299 is a better card on paper than UFC 300?
Did he say that?
He tweeted it out. But he was also, let's put this into context. He wasn't saying that 300 is not good. He's saying that both cards are tremendous. And for him, he thinks 299 is more intriguing top to bottom than 300 is. And if you want to come up with that take, I am not upset with you on that, because I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of stakes in the main card. The main card's great. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of storylines, etc. To me, if I'm talking like which card from the first fight to the very end is better,
300.
I think it's 300. I think it's
Easily.
300 to me. It's every fight is intriguing in its own way. I know a lot of people gave the Jessica Andrade fight a whole bunch of crap, but like that's a ranked pivotal fight. I don't know. The reaction to that fight being
that fight rules. You people are morons. Sorry, I said it. That fight rules. Top two. Oh my god. Yeah.
But there's not, every fight has like ranked fighters, or most of them have former champions or title challengers attached to it. You got a star on the rise in Diego Lopez, who's getting an opportunity at a ranked dude that they're trying to get over on a big card. To me, 300 is better top to bottom, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're an asshole if you think 299 is better. And I think Ariel's just saying like, these are 1A, 1B. Right now, 299 is 1A, 300's 1B. Just slightly better. But I think it's 300 pretty clearly, at least in my eyes.
If we're talking top to bottom, free fights to pay-per-view fights, 300. 300 might be the best, honestly, might be the best UFC card I've ever seen. From first fight to the last fight. Of course, I get it. The way the UFC presented us, UFC 300, was a bit of a cluster F. You know, like this isn't the main event they wanted, But it is a good main event. It's just not the main event that makes sense at this moment, at this location. And the fact that, we don't. Who are the three biggest stars in the UFC? Connor,
John Jones.
Who would be the third biggest?
Probably Izzy.
Izzy. Yeah. Your three biggest stars are not on your biggest card ever. Yeah, that's like WWE having WrestleMania and Roman Reigns, The Rock, or whatever. None of their big main eventers aren't on their WrestleMania card. So yeah, that is odd, but the UFC has so much depth, they can throw a card out like this and it still freaking rules. So I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the rollout for 300 was very bad, but no, yeah, 300, but pay-per-view portion only. Do you think there's an argument though? 299 is better, pay-per-view portion.
Let me I want to look at 299 real quick.
On paper. On paper.
I mean, dude, I still
is Leydon made on the pay-per-view portion, or is that gonna be a free fight?
That's a free fight.
Ooh, wow, that's an excellent free fight. Oh my goodness.
All right, so here's the 299 main card: Petr Yan versus Song Yudong, Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena, Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page, Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis, and Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera for the bantamweight title. UFC 300's main card: Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling, Yuri Prohashka, Alexander Rakic, Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway for the BMF title, Zhang Weili versus Jan Xiaonan for the strawweight title, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill for the light heavyweight title. I think 300s is better.
Me too.
I'm more intrigued by the 300 main card.
Me too.
I am. 299 is spectacular. And we are spoiled. We're going to be spoiled the next 6 weeks. Watching. And I thought 298 was a really good card on paper. So, a really strong 3-card stretch. But 299, 300 might be the best back-to-back pay-per-view slate they've put together in a long time, maybe ever. It's really, really good. If Dana and everybody else didn't, first of all, the expectations of the fans were just way too high to begin with. But if it wasn't
the rollout was bad. The rollout for 300 was.
If Dana just said, "Look, we're still working on the main event. We're going to announce it soon," and just kept it at that, I think people would look at this card like it's like you're looking at. This is the best card we've ever seen. But the fact that he came on and said, "Oh, your socks are going to be blown off. You're going to be." When we announce this fight, your clothes are just going to fly into the street and you're going to be streaking trying to get them. And then we get Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, which is a tremendous fight. It's one of the most intriguing matchups I was looking forward to seeing this year. But this wasn't
it's a fight that makes sense.
Yeah.
If
it would have made more sense on 301. They're like, hey, we're going to Brazil May 4th on pay-per-view. It's going to be a big card. And we knew Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill was probably going to be the main event. And then it was just like, hey, 6 hours later, we're announcing that Alex Pereira is not fighting in our return to Brazil. So, I don't know. But still, 300 to me is still better on paper.
Yeah. Just to roll out. Yeah, it's just, that's all. But top to bottom, 300. Thank you very much, Joseph. I don't know why I said your name like that, Joseph. I was going to say kind of.
Joseph.
It's not your real name, Joseph.
Thanks, right. Joseph.
All right, let's talk about tonight's card from Lazy Bed.
If Muhammad Mokaev loses, does flyweight stagnate until Albazi is healed, or do they push us into another Royval versus Pantoja fight? What do you think about this? We talked about this on the preview show, but your thoughts on this? If Mokaev loses to Alex Perez, who is Pantoja going to fight at 301?
I'm not against Pantoja or Royval as much as I say Jed was. I get it. Royval got beaten up just 3 or 4 months ago by Pantoja. Yeah, but these are high-level flyweights, and I would still pick Pantoja over every flyweight right now, even my boy Manal Kopp. But I think Royval is a fine fight. Not the perfect fight. Obviously, I think Mokaev winning will make more sense for Pantoja. But I don't mind it. I like rematches with high level guys. I don't mind. And Royval to me seems to be getting better. And I did think Royval beat Moreno. I know there's some dispute. I think Jed had Moreno winning that fight, but doesn't have issues with Royval taking the decision. But I did have Royval winning that fight straight up. So I don't mind the fight. Yeah.
I don't think Albazi is going to get a title fight.
Yeah, and that's right. Albazi's just not. He's just not a name right. He's not a name right now. Yeah.
If they were going to give him a title fight, they'd just give him one. You know what I mean? They would have just given it to him instead of Royval, but they gave it to Royval. So it doesn't really matter. And they gave him Moreno to give him his opportunity. It's not his fault he got hurt. He's out of the equation right now, in my eyes, unless he's literally the only guy available. Yeah. So if Mokaev loses, I don't think they're going to give it to Brandon Royval. I really don't.
Oh, you don't?
I think they're going to give it to Kopp, even though he probably doesn't deserve it after missing weight and that whole situation. And I know they want to try to rebook the Nicolau fight, but to me, the fact that they haven't announced that fight is rebooked, because I know from what I understand, it was being discussed for 298. It never came to fruition. That was the fight that they were discussing. It just, the fact that it hasn't been announced tells me that Kopp is in play here, potentially. And what better guy to go to Brazil to face a homegrown fighter than Manel Kopp, who is going to come in there and just say a bunch of heinous shit about Brazil and just play the villain to the nines all week long.
I get that from a promotional standpoint, but from just a guy that wants to see the best versus the best, in a sense, I hate booking fights. Well, that guy's going to talk trash, and we're going to be entertained during fight week. And I get that it's good for us, gets clicks, does great traffic, and I love Manel Kopp, but I just don't think he deserves. I hate saying that word in the sport. I don't think he deserves the title shot right now. And I'm not in his last weight miss, the Nicolau fight. The dude was sick, and he tried to make the fight. He should have just pulled out of the fight beforehand.
100%.
And I get it. It was it's easy saying just pull out of the fight, but and not risk missing weight and the fight canceled. I don't think his team was expecting Nicolau to just turn down the fight completely. But that's how the sport works. It's unfortunate. Yeah. But Kopp's.
But if he pulled out of the fight, he'd be getting the title shot right now. Which
that's the weird part. That's the weird part. Yeah, but I know it's.
Or right. we just roll. We saw the rumor and innuendo. If they really are in talks with Kyoji Horiguchi, you lock that shit up and you bring him in to fight Alexander Pantoja at 301.
Horiguchi is the correct answer. It is the correct answer. But we're talking about, who's actually on the roster. Horiguchi is the correct answer. But if you're talking about who's on the roster, I think Royval or Kopp. I'll rather go with Royval because he just beat Homeboy in his home country. In front of 15,000 people, disappointing 15,000 fans. That's pretty awesome. And I would like Royval to get it, but I get it if it's not that way.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to Albazi. That's all.
It's not going to Albazi. Albazi's going to have to fight one more. And maybe he ends up fighting Nicolau if they give Kopp the title shot. But I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, this is a question that's interesting, but I don't think, no offense to Alex Perez, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that because I do feel like Muhammad Mokaev's going to beat him tonight and then we're going to be okay.
Dude, and if Perez does beat him tonight, wow, then Perez is probably then one fight away.
He's literally in the same position as Brandon Royval, except his fight with Pantoja was 2 years ago instead of 2 months ago. Yeah. But, wild.
Yep. Alrighty. We have a super chat.
Yes.
Shout
out.
From our man, Super Samoan Legal Team.
Yes. Hope today's great for both of you. I listen to you guys and Luke Thomas often, and he talks about media layoffs. Should I fear losing you guys ever? God, I hope not. I didn't even think about this until today. Thank you.
Damn you, legal team. You know what? This is the modern economy, and I don't think there's anything such. I don't think there's such anything. Wait, sorry, what am I trying to say? There's no such thing as a completely secure job in this country. I'm sorry. It's
Hell
not
no.
just media, just everywhere you work. And I don't want that's. I'm gonna pull this stick to sports thing, but yeah, there's media layoffs. There have been layoffs at Vox Media as a whole, but I think we're all good to go at MMA fighting. So yay.
Yes, we'll keep it at that. But I will say this to answer your last question: no.
No.
If something crazy does happen, I ain't going anywhere. I don't think Case is going anywhere. So, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. It's not about that today.
Yeah, I appreciate the love though.
Yes, thank you for the super chatting with you. Shout out AK and Jed.
We got another super chat here from the Last Stand 001.
Are you guys interested in the Gamebred MMA card? Main event is JDS versus Belcher. Let me answer that very confidently. Yes, I am. I gotta be honest with you. I am more excited for your Gamebred than I am the UFC card. Because it's just good. Like it's a fun watch. Now, here's my problem. There's two things that, because Jed and I talked about, we do the promotional sort of grade at the end of the year. We call it the promotional Festivus on BTL. We just talk about each promotion, what they did well, what they didn't do well. And at the end, we're like, which promotion do you think could make the biggest leap? My pick was Gamebred because I love what they're doing. It's different. Nobody else is doing it. And they got the right guy running it. The problem is I kept saying they need to go full ECW. Don't do the Kia Center. Don't do these big arenas. You should be in like 2,000 seaters with a bunch of drunk, rabid fans just chanting Gamebred over and over again. Like, you should have a dude with a cowboy hat sitting in the front row at every single one of your events, just as a mainstay. Like, that's what they should be doing. And then the other thing that I have sort of an issue with, but like, I don't want to shit on anybody. I think the commentary is a little rough. Like, I love me some Robin Black. I think he's a great like color guy, but as a play-by-play guy, it's almost like there's too many color guys in the booth. So it was him and Kayla one card. It was him, Dan Lambert, and somebody else on the second one. And this one is Robin Black and Brendan Schaub. So I'm curious to see how him and Brendan work together. But if you can get like a really good play-by-play guy in there and then just have Robin as a second voice and then bring in a former fighter or a present fighter as the third voice, and then just do it in like a smaller venue, more intimate setting, more raw, I think they got something that's going to click real hard. But I don't know if you guys saw the ticket sales on Ticketmaster. It ain't very good. Like, there's not a lot of tickets sold for this event, but you can't run these NBA arenas yet. Like, maybe seems like they have like a lot of good sponsorship money coming in, but regardless, I am excited for the card. The product I enjoy. I think there's something to it. Randy Costa did last time was incredible. That performance against Jason Knight, I think he could be the face of the company. He's not on this card, but from what I understand, Randy's going to be sticking around, probably going to be sticking around with them for a little while. But he's just not on this card. Randy's had a lot going on since that fight. He got married, like all sorts of craziness. So yeah, I am very interested. This is the card I'm going to be more consumed with. I volunteered to work extra hours tonight just so I could cover this card. So I am very, very intrigued by it. What say you, Casey? Is this must-watch viewing for you?
If my life wasn't just oversaturated with combat sports, I would say yes. But because I'm going to spend all day watching fights and I have a rare Saturday night off, I am going to not watch the card tonight. But taking that away, I love the idea of bare knuckle MMA. I like it more than just bare knuckle boxing. I am a fan of bare knuckle, by the way. I'm a fan of just pure fighting, in a sense. Not bare knuckle FC in a sense, but just I like pure fighting, and I think bare knuckle fighting, be it MMA or boxing, is a more pure fighting. And so I do like it. I'm not big. I wish, and this is just a money thing, I wish Gamebred could invest more into their production. And I do have issues with Robin Black. Is he play-by-play?
He does the lead play-by-play.
Yeah, not a fan. But I do like what Masvidal is doing with Gamebred MMA. I agree with everything. The arena's too big. Find a small venue, a small intimate venue. Put 1,000 people in there.
People.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
But 1,500, like, just, yeah, let's go. Let's have fun, not, let's have this giant arena and then black out everything. So, like, it just looks like, I don't know, you're just in this blank void. I've always hated that. I hate how one blacks out their audience. I get sometimes there are people, sometimes there aren't people, but I don't care. I want to see fans, I want to see people jumping up. I don't know. I just it creates just a better experience.
Yeah, like Gamebred, like when you go to the gym, like I obviously my fitness lifestyle has changed over the last 18 months, but like to me, I always enjoyed, instead of going into like a commercial gym that's like clean and like colorful and nice, like I'd rather go into a gym that smells like sweat and it's all rusted weights and like rusted bars and rusted dumbbells, like just like work is being done, like work is done in this room. Like that's how I feel Gamebred can be. Like they could be like the raw dumbbell of the combat sports space that you just like want to go in there and just chuck weights around and scoop up a bunch of pre-workout and shove it down your gullet without even chasing it with water. You just want to go in there and just lift as much as you can at a place like that. It's like where Apollo Creed had Rocky train and Rocky 3 for the rematch with Clubber Lang. Like that's the gym you want to be at. This is what Gamebred could be. This is exactly what they could be.
That's a great description. I remember years ago I went to AKA in San Jose, and this isn't the new building. This is the original AKA. And as soon as practice started, all the windows would get completely fogged up because that room would be just rah, And as soon as you walk, it would be like a nice temperature outside, and you open that door, and you just kind of feel this heat and humidity and sweat. You're like, oh, these boys are going in here, and it's disgusting, but also this is what it's supposed to be. And
yes,
yeah, I never really thought about what you said about Gamebred like that, but I agree. And maybe that's the problem with Gamebred. They really got, right now they're putting on the fights people want to see, but now they have to work on the presentation, and that presentation needs to be different. And I don't know, just you think of like Street Fighter. Those scenes in Street Fighter, they're like, I don't know, put like an old Honda in the corner, and in between fights, the guys are just warming up, kicking a car. I don't know, like things like that.
Yeah, do it in a ring of cars. Like that's the best. Like,
all the lights are just headlights. Just everyone parks their car. Yeah. If you buy a ticket, use your headlights to light the fight. Yeah, something like that. But back to the question. I am pro Gamebred MMA card. Please watch it tonight if you have the time and energy, and support MMA outside of UFC. Support it all if you can.
Yes, and if you're like Casey and want to have a life outside of combat sports, follow along at MMAfighting.com. Yeah. I get you.
Great website.
It's a great website. Fantastic website.
We got another one from Super Smo and Legal Team.
Wish they used Fitzgerald more often. He's great. I mean, he's usually on these cards, but Anik's doing this one. I don't know why. Because a lot of people are like, when's the Anik 299 preview coming? Unfortunately, will not be coming because Anik is doing this broadcast. So he's been like so busy this week doing fighter meetings and prepping for this card. And then on top of that, prepping for 299. So yeah, I'm not sure why Brennan's not on this one, but Anik's in, and that's okay.
I got to say, I wasn't, when Fitzgerald first came along, I was like, okay, he's solid. But him and Felder, I think, are a great team together.
So good.
They work really well together. I really enjoy him and Felder. I mean, I like Felder if anybody, but I think Felder really, I don't know, he works really well with Fitzgerald, or I don't know. But I'm impressed. I think Fitzgerald has improved, and that's good. I'm sure if we go back and look at Anik's maybe first UFC broadcast, we'd be like, whoa, no, he was good, but not who he is now. But Fitzgerald's great, and I love the kind of back and forth. I love Fitzgerald doing the Apex cards and things like that, and Anik doing the big cards. And it's good. He is great. I completely agree.
They are spoiled with play-by-play talent. Between Anik, Fitz, and John Gooden, even like Dan Helly's coming along too. Like they are spoiled. They are freaking spoiled. Fitz is a great guy too. Like fellow New Englander, just like myself and John Anik from Sandwich, Massachusetts. Just really solid dude. Really solid dude. And he's very good.
And I would totally give credit to the UFC and Dana and the production team for finding and getting that and locking that talent down for play-by-play for these fights, because it is a incredibly hard job to do 12 fights. I think it's even tougher for Fitz for these Apex cards, because let's be honest, a lot of these guys we just don't know very much about. There's not a lot of history, so they have to tell a lot of story to us, the fans, about these gentlemen. And so, great job.
Killers, appreciate the shout yesterday, Mike. Just want to know your guys. I thought for sure you were popping up on the super chat, but he's back. Just want to know your guys' thoughts on my parlay. Zahabi, Anders, Gaziev, Nurmagomedov, Petrino, Rozenstruik. I think that's going to pay pretty freaking good.
You put Zahabi in there, huh? Oh, boy. All right.
Anders. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to wait and see what happens on the Zahabi fight. If Ayman Zahabi beats Javid Basharat today, then I feel tremendously good about this parlay. Although the Rozenstruik one scares me a tiny bit, although I'm picking him myself. Ayman Zahabi beats Javid Basharat, like, your parlay looks pretty fucking good. Sorry for the cursing, but...
Yeah. So what was Jed's philosophy on parlays of underdogs? No more than one?
Don't do it.
Or no underdogs in parlays at all, or no more than one.
That's his thing.
Okay,
yeah, that's his thing, because you're already getting really good value anyways, just on the plus money. That there's no need to really risk it all on like parlaying a bunch of underdogs up, because if you just bet them singles, you're almost getting like the same sort of value anyways on a fight to fight basis. That's why people will parlay like heavy underdogs, or GC likes to parlay up, over unders. Like if it's a fight that he knows is going to go long, like he'll take like the big chalk money on like over 1.5, or like even when I was doing the watch parties, like my parlays, I'll even take a women's fight to like cap off a parlay over a half a round. Like I'll just do that. It's like minus 1,200, but who gives a shit? Like, it's going to cash. So just add it to the mix and then you get extra value. So, but I'll tell you what, man, if Zahabi wins, you're going to cash that parlay, I think.
I wonder if you get a parlay. You do two parlays. You do this parlay, and then you do a parlay, but instead of Zahabi, you put Javid Basharat on there. I wonder if that would.
You're not getting as much value, but you're still going to get.
But you're still getting
some
money.
Good plus money there. You're going to get plus money, no doubt about it. So, good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
I think Javid Basharat is really, really good. No disrespect to Ayman Zahabi. I think Basharat is.
Yeah.
I think Basharat's going to be. In the next 2 years, he's going to be a top 5 guy for sure. I just don't know if he's going to get a ton of big fights to move him up the ladder. I think he's going to have to work pretty hard, but I think he's going to get there. He's got the talent. He's only going to get better.
I don't know if this is off the record, but but I was talking to Victor Henry. I was like, "Hey, Victor, why didn't you get the rematch?" They were like, "They didn't offer it. I wanted it." So, for people that forgot. Basharat.
I want to see that rematch. I'll tell you, I definitely want to see that rematch.
Because Victor was ready to go like a couple weeks afterward. After the swelling went down, he was like, "Oh, we'll run it back, whatever." He wasn't mad. It's like these things happen, But he was a little perturbed by the people accusing him of of faking it, but the actual kick.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, he was like, he was like, it just happens. It's fighting, but but he was like annoyed, but UFC. Decided to go with Basharat Zahabi, so interesting. But Basharat is very good. I am interested in this fight. Much.
Do you have any more super chats, or we
I think one more.
All right, we'll get to the last one, and then we'll make our picks, and then I'm going to move locations. Thank you, Matija. I hope I got that right. Give us 3 fights that could main event 301. The card looks too heavily depending on this week's and UFC 300 outcomes. 3 fights that can main event 301. I don't think Pantoja versus Makhachev could, because I think he's going to win, and I think they're probably going to go with him over Royval. So that could be.
What was the last flyweight? Sorry, what was the last flyweight main event in a pay per view?
Moreno Figgy?
Where was that at? Was that
That was
was
when
that
they fought to the draw, was it not?
was that in Brazil? Or was that Apex?
No, that was the Apex.
Oh, okay. Have they gotten have flyweights gotten a main event pay per view with an audience yet? You know,
Ever? I think
not
so.
not ever, maybe ever.
And since it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, I don't know. This is a better question for the Brazilian beast Guilherme, our Brazilian correspondent, because I'm not sure how big Pantoja is actually down there. I don't know if he moves tickets. I don't know. Would they like?
The tickets affordable is going to be a big question because that was a problem the last time they were in Rio when they did Glover versus Jamal. So Pantoja versus Makhachev. I do think that if Jailton Almeida just runs over Curtis Blades next week and barely breaks a sweat doing it, I could see them doing
Aspinall
versus Jailton Almeida as the main event for that card for the interim title. Because
Yeah,
that fight rules. Jailton's from Brazil.
That would rule. That'll be. Where did Aspinall win his? Where did he win his title? I forget.
In Madison Square Garden.
Oh, it was MSG. Okay, he has fought in America. I can't. I remember it was like a big deal him fighting over here. I can't remember if it happened yet. Okay, so he's fought in the States. So yeah,
he's fought at the Apex a few times too. So
yeah. Aspinall Almeida makes the most sense. Makes the most as far as. I
mean, you might as well, right? Because I guess they're going. Everything I'm hearing, and this is no surprise. I saw some people tweeting this out yesterday, like maybe it was like sort of breaking news, but it's not. Like they're going to go to Manchester this summer. Like this has been in the works for like 9-10 months, and every conversation I've had about it was that it's not going to be a pay-per-view, and from all accounts, even as of like 3 days ago, it's going to be a fight night card. So even saving Aspinall for Manchester doesn't even make a ton of sense because it's not a pay-per-view. So just do it now. Like if that's what happens, just do it now. But if Almeida wins, if Almeida just tackles Curtis Blades and taps him in 3 minutes, yeah, I think that's the main event. And then Pantoja could just fight anybody in the co-main event. A third one, I don't know what they could do. Like, unless like Amanda Nunes comes back and fights somebody and fights like Raquel Pennington, but they're not going to fight each other. So, I mean, and Amanda's not going to come back for that unless she's fighting Kayla, and Kayla doesn't fight till 3. Kayla's not going to turn around, cut to 135 again to fight Nunes unless they just do it like a non-title super fight or at 45. I don't know. I'm overthinking this thing, but I don't think we could pick 3. It'd be Pantoja versus Royval would be the other pick if Makhachev somehow loses or can't flip it around. So there you go.
Oh, we got a last second super chat. We got to throw it in there.
All right, last one. Hey guys, just wanted to say hi. Thanks for everything you guys, the MMA fighting team, do. We appreciate you. Enjoy the fights, everybody. Thank you, Mark. You're the man.
Man, I appreciate that, Mark. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Much
and also,
appreciated.
apologies to to Pro Fights Info. He had some good trivia questions he wanted us to talk about, but we'll get to that later. Jump on the post show. Pro Fights
Post
Info.
show.
Jump on the post show. We'll get to you.
All right. Let's just do our main card picks because I got to roll. I don't know what the free bonuses are going to look like, but let's just do our main card picks. I think that's the right way to go. So let's get right into this main card style. Main card begins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Matt Schnell takes on Steve Erceg. Flyweight fight. Who knows? Maybe one of these two guys could find themselves in a title fight with a good performance. Steve Erceg, huge favorite, -485. Come back on Matt Schnell, +370. Who gets it done in the opener of the main card?
I think that line is a bit disrespectful to Matt Schnell, but I am still going Steve Erceg with a submission in a very fun fight. A submission in round 1, though.
I agree. That line is ridiculous. And I will disagree with you. I'm picking Matt Schnell, submission round 3, Crazy Town, survival, and then a bloody, battered, gross-looking Matt Schnell who's just been beat around the octagon for 12 minutes, comes through with a last-second heroic submission to just put the stamp on this main card, just setting it off on the right foot. So I think that fight's going to be crazy. I'm very curious to see, because Steve Erceg is a very technically solid fighter. Like he's real solid. Matt Schnell is a fucking maniac. And I just want to see how he reacts to a guy that is just going to be a maniac until the fight is over. And we'll see if we can get him out of there, or if Matt Schnell, that maniacal side of him becomes just like a little too much for Steve and his technique. So I'm going Matt Schnell. I think there's a lot of value there. I wouldn't be shocked if Steve Erceg goes out and just 30-26s him, but I'm going Matt Schnell. Why the hell not? Very good fight coming up at 135. We have the return of Umar Nurmagomedov. He takes on a very game, very good, but unknown, especially to UFC fans, Beksat Almakhan. Right now, Casey, Umar Nurmagomedov minus 1350. The comeback on Almakhan plus 800. Can Almakhan come in here and pull off a big upset?
No, I'm going Umar. Second round submission victory. I'm sure Almakhan is a wonderful fighter, but this is about as tough an ask as you can have for someone making their UFC debut. I think this is about.
Yeah.
This is as tough as it gets to make a UFC debut against such a high level prospect like Umar Nurmagomedov. I can't honestly think of too many tougher ones to make your UFC debut against.
I think this is going to be a fight where both guys' stocks rise. I think Almakhan will get a bump in how people view him after this. I think Jed made a perfect. The one I was leaning towards a lot was Diego Lopez versus Movsar Evloev, where like Evloev won, but Lopez fought his ass off and gave him a really strong test, even in defeat, and kind of bumped him up. People wanted to see him again.
Or even Cop versus Dos Santos. Remember Cop versus Dos Santos?
That's a good one. I think Jed's was perfect from yesterday. This is Arman Sarukian. This could be Arman Sarukian versus Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
This could be one of those moments where
because Arman came in late notice, right? That was his first fight in the UFC, right? Late notice.
That was his UFC debut against freaking Islam Makhachev, and fought his ass off. And honestly, probably Makhachev's toughest fight in the last few years. So outside of the first Volkanovski fight.
Volkanovski,
yeah.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
I think this could be like that. So, but I'm going Umar by decision. But I think it's a competitive fight.
Oh, so you're gonna. So if it's competitive, we'll see. We'll see how the fight goes. I'm because I know everyone's got really high. I think Jed's pretty much says Umar's the best bantamweight in the world, right?
Dude, he's so good, but Almakhan is awesome, and it's like I give credit to Umar for taking this fight too, because the most dangerous fight you can take on the rise is a super friggin' good fighter that nobody knows about. And that's exactly what we're getting.
Those are very dangerous fights. Very dangerous fights for Umar. Yep. Very dangerous. And little upside other than a paycheck. Yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Speaking of dangerous fights, we have Alex Perez, the wily veteran, taking on the undefeated Muhammad Makhachev. Right now, you can get Muhammad Makhachev minus 360 to come back on Alex Perez plus 285. Of course, these odds, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. Use the code the MMA Hour, get yourself a little bit of a deal. Does Muhammad Makhachev get the job done and possibly punch his ticket to a title fight against Alexander Pantoja?
He gets the job done, but he doesn't punch his ticket. He wins a 30-26. He does not get that big finish that he needs to kind of. He might still get the title shot, but it will be one of those. We'll think about it. I don't think we're gonna come out of this fight going, "Oh yeah, let's do it now." But I think we're gonna see a good Alex Perez tonight because this is a big fight for Alex Perez. It's a big fight for both gentlemen, honestly. But I'm going Makhachev, and I'm still. I know we didn't talk about it all, but I just gotta say it. This should have been the main event. Should have been the main event. Should have been the main event. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
I'm going Makhachev submission round 2. I think Perez's game, but I think this is not a pillar to post, but it's going to be pretty damn close. What Perez's weaknesses are, Makhachev is tremendously good at. His grappling is so good. His submission game is so good. And if Perez loses, he usually loses by submission. So I will go with Makhachev, round 2 sub, punching his ticket to a title shot, which whether he wins or not, I don't think it matters. You just take what's given to you.
I'm just mad.
Fun one.
I'm just still upset. And it's an Apex. And it's in the freaking Apex. Yeah,
I know.
right.
I completely agree.
I know.
Co-main event, we got Vitor Petrino, -380 to come back on Tyson Pedro, +300. Got a feeling somebody's going to sleep here. Someone's getting knocked out. And I think that person, although wouldn't surprise if it goes the other way, I think the person getting knocked out will be Tyson Pedro. Round 2, fun first round. I think maybe both guys get clipped, but we've seen Petrino be able to bounce back and weather some storms and just be dangerous every second of the fight. So give me Petrino, round 2 KO.
I'm going Petrino, Petrino, KO, round 3, in a fight of the night slobber knocker.
Yeah, this fight's gonna be nuts until it's over. Main event. I already gave my pick on the preview show. I have very little confidence in this pick because I do think Gaziev is pretty good. I could see Gaziev winning this fight. I could see Gaziev getting a finish, but just because I want the world to live in the same world I do, where we are excited when the UFC puts a poster together of Derek Lewis versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik somehow, some way, sometime this year. Give me Jairzinho Rozenstruik KO round 1, and then he gets the Derek Lewis fight. The fight we've all been waiting for. We've all been wanting for years and years. We're going to get it because Jairzinho is going to do it for us. This is just a vibes pick just because I want to see that fight so badly.
Yeah, I don't want to be negative, but I just have I'm hoping this fight rules, but I just have low expectations, and I just have no energy to even put out and go, oh, I can't wait for this fight. Just 2 heavyweights. I'm going Shamil and a whatever forgettable decision victory.
Oh, hit the music. No decision.
I'm sorry. Hey, UFC did this to themselves.
That sounds like a guy who's got a date night. Needs,
All right, let's go. Let's wrap it up, guys.
Let's just get this done. All right, come on now. But it takes the decision, man. Man. All right, well, that's it, everybody. Enjoy the fights. They're underway, I believe. I don't know. I don't have the screen in front of me, but we'll be back after the card. I believe it's myself and New York Rick and Casey. I think that's the lineup for the post-fight show. I might be missing somebody. And that'll happen as soon as the main event is over. So we'll see you then, everybody. Enjoy some early day fights and enjoy a day full of fights. We got Amanda Serrano's card in Puerto Rico. Jake Paul's fighting on that as well. And then we got Gamebred MMA coming up tonight as well. So stick with us at MAfighting.com. Enjoy, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.